What's up, friends? It's Voltfire Core. We all know that time of month, the first of the month. We're going to be taking a look at the usage stats for, technically it's not this month, like it's November now, November 1st, but this is like the tier changes for October. And oh my god, this is probably the craziest one yet. So not only we had the whole DLC drop, when the Isle of Armor dropped, like it was crazy, but this, Jesus Christ. They chucked everything inside of OU and then they had to just drop it down. So this video is going to be long, disgustingly long, and we're just going to be taking a look at these drops and usage stats. So let's get into this with the drops and rises, the most interesting part for the first section. Alright, sorry about the bad zoom-in quality. I just kind of wanted to save this just in case any of you haven't seen this yet. I don't want to spoil the whole thing. I'm not going to be... One second, I gotta close this door. Got to close that. It was a little hot in here, even though it's November. Who knows? So you get a little spoilers on some of the drops right there. You see Slowbro and Aegislash's head and all that kind of stuff. But this is the changes for November. Oh my god. And it is very long. As you can tell by the bad quality, I had to zoom in a lot. So we're just going to go through this like we normally do. Hopefully you can't... Yeah, you can see some of the stuff there. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Sorry about the spoilers. I just don't want it to be horrible quality. Even though we got like Umbreon over here looking like 1080p or like just 10p. Then we got a Heliolist, which actually looks kind of nice. Anyways, starting off with the rises, we have UU to OU. We just got Slowbro. Like, he's kind of just been between those two. He's really good. Heavy duty boots. We all know him. RU to UU. Now, a few of these are kind of interesting. Well, specifically the Bronzong, since I really thought that thing was just insane inside of that tier. I haven't played too much RU, but every single time I've won against it, it is pretty strong. Dolomize and Golisopod, I don't know too much about them, but they're pretty cool mons. They'll probably drop back down to RU since I don't think they're too good inside of UU. UU's kind of crazy right now. Well, look at you. Look at UU. Good god. Klefki, Umbreon, you know, some pretty normal mons. NU to UU. Now, these don't really make sense at all. I really don't know why Frostlass is chilling up inside of UU. Like, there had to be some kind of strategy going on. There probably is, like, some mon out there, like Kartana or something like that, where it was so annoying to deal with, so they were doing that whole, like, Freeze Dry or, Icy Wind Destiny Bond set. That was a thing that some people did. So you can, like, get that fast Destiny Bond or whatever. I don't know. It had to have some reason to get up to UU, since there's no reason for it to skip all of RU. I don't think it's that good. And then we have Malamar, which don't think it's gonna be able to deal with the UU of new. Disgusting. NU to RU, pretty normal, nothing insane. Just some Snorlax. NU to RU. Okay. Oh, did I say NUBL to RU? NUBL to RU, Snorlax. NU to RU is these boys. Looking like Silvally, I want to say Steel, but I'm pretty sure that's the only Silvally other than Fairy, which is inside of RU. So we have Silvally Steel and Silvally Fairy inside of RU, because all the other ones are like inside of NU. Quite a bit of them are stuck inside of like PUBL. Only like 2 are inside of PU, and then you got like 1 inside of ZU, which I'm pretty sure is Silvally Ice. Rest in peace, that thing doo-doo. But yeah, of course we have the 2 best types for Silvally, pretty much being, you know, Fairy and Steel. Then we got Mudsdale, which I've been watching some of PokeGame's Snake Drafts, and he's been using Mudsdale a lot. I don't know too much about Mr. President Obama, or former president. Then we got Ice Cream. I like Ice Cream. It's a cool Snowmon. Now, the whole PUBL to RU, this is like, it makes sense. This mon got its new hidden ability, making it so it has Slush Rush now. So it can go for that insane Bolt Beak and actually be fast. So, really strong mon, and I'm probably going to be using it instead of OU, since, you know, honestly, I think it has the coolest design. I don't know why. Just kind of, it just kind of looks a little cool. Like, see Draco's ult, it's kind of freaking me out because it has like that big old tail and like, its body's really small. This thing kind of just looks like a dragon encapsulated and nice. And then we got, what is this thing called? Arctovish? Yeah, so we have, Arctozolt, yeah, and Arctovish. They're the ice ones. So, Arctozolt, the RU one, and then Arctovish, which has access to Fish's Rend, which also got Swift Swim. No, not Swift Swim. Slush Rush. Pretty sure. Meaning that I think he can fire off Vicious Wren's faster now. Like, of course, he doesn't have access to Strong Jaw, and I'm pretty sure he's weaker, but, you know, he's fast now, so we can get that buff to Vicious Wren. Then we have PU to NU, just, you know, I don't really think Cramorant's that good inside of PU, but I don't really know if he's going to be any better inside of NU. Because, you know, sometimes, like, a Pokemon gets, you know, they just deserve to be inside the tier. Who knows? This isn't the important part. ZU to NU, I find it a little sad, since I was really enjoying using Trevenant inside of PU, but I guess he just decided to leave this world. My final message. Goodbye. Golbat makes total sense. Golbat, I'm pretty sure, was an NU staple inside of Gen 7. NU or PU? I don't know. I don't know. Then we have ZUBL to PU. Horse Combustion is going to be really strong. This Mon has access to Speed Boost and Swords Dance, and it has that whole Focus Sash or like Endure reversal set. That's pretty strong too. ZU to PU. You know, these Mons were kind of annoying inside of ZU since there weren't many breakers, but again, it's ZU, so now they're PU staples. Even though I totally think Swoobat deserves to be there. What is it, Swoobat? Woobat? Yeah, it's Swoobat and Woobat. Alright, now let's just go over to the drops. This is disgusting. Alright, so some pretty basic stuff. The Mons that have been, like, going between UUBL and OU for, like, a millennia since the game came out. All these Mons. They're not going to get chucked down to UU. They're too strong, but, you know. I'm a little confused on why Halucha, since I'm pretty sure he was, like, still used a lot due to whole, like, just Grassy Seed. Now we have Coco, so we have Coco Lucha again. Looking forward to that kind of shit. But then we got this chunker, OU to UU. Alright, so let me explain why we have so many disgusting Mons chilling down here, since it might be a little confusing to someone who hasn't been checking out the forums and all that. So basically, when the DLC came out, they put a threshold for usage rates. So anyone playing above, like, I'm pretty sure 1,500 points, the database kind of collects all the data of the Mons being used. So if a Mon is used above 4% or 4.67% or something, it stays inside of OU and it just, you know, just kind of chills up there. If it's below that, it gets put inside of UU, and then 4% of that, so 4% of 4% gets put inside of RU, and then progressively it goes down into PU, which I don't think there were that many drops to PU from all this kind of stuff. But we're going to go through all of them. We are. This is going to be long, but I'm not going to cover the ones I don't know too much about. So, look at this. This is disgusting. Okay, so we have Aerodactyl. I think it's going to be, you know, not insane inside of UU, but, you know, having access to Dual Wing Beat's pretty cool. It's just a good rocker. It's pretty fast. Can use Focus Sash sets. Nothing crazy about it. Did it get Dragon Dance? I think it already had Dragon Dance. Doesn't matter. This tier is going to be disgusting. Alakazam, I think that Mon's probably going to get banned, but, you know, who knows. It is crazy that that Mon has been down there, since I'm pretty sure he was tested inside of UU sometime. Actually, that's probably Gen 7 or something. Amoonguss, like, I think Amoonguss kind of just depends on the tier. Like, if you don't have a breaker for Amoonguss, he's going to be annoying in general. So if you have an OU team that's, like, all physical attackers that are, like, mostly fighting types or something with no, like, ice coverage or flying coverage, you're not going to be able to touch Amoonguss. He's just going to regenerate her out. So it depends on the tier. I'm pretty sure some PU Mons could technically beat up an Amoonguss. Like, you know, if you have Flamethrower or Psychic Fangs on, like, a Boltund or something, probably do something. It's a Boltund. Galarian Articuno, I'm kind of surprised this thing dropped down to UU, since this is going off of actual usage, and if we're being perfectly honest, usage on new Mons is usually pretty high, but I'm pretty sure Galarian Zapdos just absolutely mauled them, since I think he stayed inside of OU. Yeah. Anyways, that Mon is pretty cool. It has a Freezing Glare, aka Kanye's Laser Eyes. You'll probably see that team sometime in the future. Yeah, it's a strong Mon. Pretty cool. Kind of limited move pool. Has Recover though. Azelf has access to Nasty Plot and Focus Sash, Lead Set, Explosion. Pretty sure it got a new move. Oh yeah, it got Misty Explosion. Pretty sure. So now it can do a lead set that can get some chip damage on ghost types. Azumarill shouldn't be down here. Bucephalon shouldn't be down here. Buzzwole, I'm pretty sure could stay inside of that, but like it's still, I'm not going to be playing UU for a while since this is kind of crazy. Celesteela, Honestly, I think bulky steels are just really good in general, and this is a really good specially defensive one. Being steel flying, we all know the steel flying prowess, so it's a good mon. Kind of just depends on what you have for it. I think it might be a little too strong for Yu, but like Pokeam, Blunder, I am begging you to bring back BL Knights, since 90% of these mons are either going to be BL'd or just something. These mons are way too strong. Regigigas Yu for some reason. I don't know what people are going for with Regigigas, but you know, that's fine. Crawdaunt, like he was BL a few times. He got chucked back up to OU, so I'm pretty sure he's one of those like floaters. But since OU was a little chock full of a bunch of crazy mons, people kind of forgot about using Crawdaunt too much. So, you know, I think he could stay inside of UU, maybe. Again, this like the smoke just has to settle. A lot of these mons don't deserve to be inside of OU. I mean UU, since they're like either too weak or too strong. Like personally, I don't think a mon like Yuxi is gonna stay inside of UU. I just don't. And I don't think a mon like Tapu Lele should stay inside of OU. I mean UU. It should go up to OU, and Yuxi should go down to RU or something like that. So there of course are going to be tier changes. What the Smogon is actually going to do, they're going to wait until about halfway through November and do this again, so it's not like an entire month you have to deal with this abomination of nature. Disgusting. Disgusting. Cresselia, don't know too much about it. Good Trick Room. Lunar Dance. Diancie, I really don't know why people are using Diancie that much. Like, it had the whole Meteor Beam set, but again, it's not like the strongest mon. Pretty sure it was RU or NU inside of Gen 7, so I'm just gonna assume it's gonna be inside of one of those. We have Entei. I don't know. I don't know too much about that mon. And then we have Glacier, which it's kind of funny we have these two Trick Rumor mons right next to each other. Glacier is one of the newer mons, or one of the new mons that came out inside the DLC. And I hate to say it, they don't really have as much of an impact as like Urshifu. They kind of look a little ugly to me. Like they're just a little bland. They just kind of look like horses to me. I didn't play the game, and maybe it's just supposed to be like a Calyrex and the horse that makes the mon cool, but since that mon's going to be hard Ubers, this is my only correlation to this mon, and, well, I play Ubers a little bit, but still. I mostly play the middle-ish tiers. So my only correlation to these kind of mons are these really bland-looking mons. Like, this is just a horse with some ice on it, and the other one's a horse that looks like it's straight out of My Little Pony that has no ankles or something. Like, they're somewhat cool designs, but they don't really have that whole Pokemon thing. They kind of just look like horses, like elemental horses. There's really not much to them. Not a big fan of them, but their stats are insane, so I'm going to be seeing them a lot probably. Yeah, but this mon's a good Trick Roamer. Has like 30 speed. And then we have Hatterene. I think that's just a hard UU mon. I think it got chucked back up to OU for a little bit, but probably will stay inside of UU. Hippowdon, Hydreigon. Like, I really don't know. Since Hippowdon is a really bulky mon. He's really damn strong. But, like, when you think about it, he was only good because there weren't that many breakers to take these annoying mons out. Because before that, it was just like Clefable going for Stealth Rocks, Hippowdon whirlwinding people out, going for Slack Off, teleporting everywhere. It was really boring. So you don't know what this mon's going to do. I highly doubt he's going to be able to deal with the meta inside of OU at the moment, since there's, you know, there's like Bulu walking around. Even though there's Bulu right there, but it doesn't matter. Hydreigon, I think he could be UU. Like I really don't know about all these mons. A few of them just look absolutely insane. Since Jirachi recently got banned out of UU, but now he might be too bad for UU or something. Yeah, because some of these mons are just insane. Like when you think about it, Kyurem, top tier threat inside of OU, now he's UU. We had Mr. Clangy, or Komo-o-o. I'm even gonna try to pronounce that. Komo-o? Yeah, sorry. He was a top tier threat. He was like 11th or 12th inside of usage or something. No, 16th, I think. Yeah, he had that whole like body press, iron defense, stealth rocks, earthquake set. That really annoyingly defensive set. He was really good. And all of these mons that I just correlated with like OU, these are OU mons, just got dropped down. So this is kind of sad. It's like losing a friend. I'm gonna be looking at the when they update Pokemon Showdown. and all these mons are actually put inside of OU, or taken out of OU, you're going to be looking at like all the Pokemon you can use inside of OU. It's going to be a lot of newer mons, and all these mons that were really common inside of OU. And if you're trying to make an OU team, you're not going to be able to see them inside the team builder for OU. You can scroll down, but still, it's going to be kind of weird. It's like a ghost town. Latios, sorry. Why? Like, I know Latios is just stronger, but Latios is still really cool. And it has access to Mystical Fire, so it doesn't really have to have the problem of worrying about hidden power fire anymore. It has Ice Beam. There's no Pursuit. This mon can't stay inside of this tier, I don't think. Like, it's crazy. Magnezone, top tier. Oh my god. Metagross. Yep, I'm just going to go through these somewhat quickly. Mew, kind of just wherever he wants to go. Now, Moltres Galarian form kind of lacks from like one thing that would make him really strong, or it really strong. If it had access to Roost, I think it would just be absolutely insane. And if it had a little bit more speed, but it can still go for those whole like Hurricane sets, or the whole Rest Talk set, or the Weakness Policy. There's a bunch of things you can do with it, but it has access to the Berserk ability, so you know, you can do some stuff with it. Nidoking and Nihilego. Now, Nihilego is actually kind of a threat. I actually checked out this one set for Nihilego, which is kind of like the thing people did with Stakataka, chilling right over there, where they intentionally lowered a good stat on the Mon to make it so it got a Beast Boost instead of a good stat. So normally Stakataka, if you just get a Beast Boost, it's all inside of defense. So they gave it like a negative defense nature, intentionally lowered some of the IVs, and they made it so it gets an attack buff under Trick Room, or just an attack buff in general, which pairs up well with Trick Room. Nihilego, if you give like a negative nature or a little bit less inside of your special attack and put it all inside of speed, you can go for the Meteor Beam, get that special attack, and also get plus speed every single time you kill something, which is crazy. I also want to warn you that Meganettle and Genesect are banned at this time, so not going to be seeing them. They got chucked up inside of Ubers. That's one of the races, technically. Lord Helix, base, man, he's crazy. Meteor Beam, Shell Smash. Raikou, I'm not really going to cover too many of these mons unless they're too, like I really want to make a video on most of these, because I think a few of these could be broken inside of UU. But I don't play UU enough, and I don't really want to, you know, experiment with all of them. A few of them are cool, though. Okay, so hear me out here. I really think that Regidrago is slept on. People really think this mon's just like, oh, just switch into your fairy. If you lose your fairy, and you might be inside of a situation where you have to sack your fairy, or you die, Regidrago can kill you. That thing with a scarf is insane. Specifically that thing with that whole explosion set. You can go, yeah, it's that Dragon Dance with Dragon Hammer? No, Dragon Pulse. Some physical dragon type attack, explosion, and Fire Fang. So you can Dragon Dance up on people's switches to fairy types, and then go for the explosion to nuke them. It's pretty fun. But anyways, this mon slept on. It's way too strong for its own good. Probably going to stay inside of UU. I cannot see it inside of RU. Regigigas, mon still sucks. People are kind of hyping up the whole slow start neutralizing gas thing, but it's a double strategy, I guess, but it's really not that good since it's still a Regigigas, and most people are just going to fake you out and then hit you with like a superpower or something, and you're going to die. So, you know. Registeel. I think Registeel could be RU. I think that's going to be his tier. Now, this is really sad. I couldn't think of a possible world where I saw Rotom Heat, one of the most annoying mons, heavy duty boot, volt switching all over the place, pain splitting, going for that paralyzed discharge. I never thought I'd see him inside of this tier. But now he's UU. Salamence, all these monsters just really didn't deserve this kind of treatment. But we're getting inside of some of the disgusting stuff. Let's just skip past all these dudes. We have Slowking Galar, which Curious Medicine kind of sucks. I think it would have been really cool if they gave it like 20 PP, 15 PP, something a little bit better than 8 at max. I'm pretty sure it's 8 at max. How the hell you're supposed to PP stall someone if you're gonna run out of your stuff yourself? It was a cool idea, and its ability sucks. it's a doubles thing that is actually terrible inside of doubles, so it's just going to be like a good regenerator mon with some special defense and all that. I don't know. Stock Attacker, we all know what it does. I think since it doesn't have Z moves, it could run some cool sets, you know, maybe like Choppleberry to deal with like some Mock Punchers or something like that. Suicune, shout out to Pokeaim. I don't know what Suicune got new. Probably got something cool. Yeah, I don't really know, but I'll probably use it. It's a cool mon. Everyone seems to like it. Now we're inside the crazy stuff. All these mons down here, besides like Yuxi, are disgusting. So starting off, we have the Tangrowth, which we've all known Tangrowth, and I really think it's too good to be inside this tier. I don't know why. It's just whenever I think of Tangrowth, I can't think of it anything else than OU. But you know, you never know. We have so many hard-hitting mons, specifically Eruption Heatran. That thing is gonna kill everything. People are literally gonna have to run like these weird sets on mons to intentionally deal with that thing. It is too strong. If you lose your Scarfer, or if you have a mon that's slower, resistances, Heatran doesn't care. Heatran's gonna blast through you with that Eruption and do like 60% to you, since he can also run Modest now, or Timid, or just change his ability, his nature in general. Bulu, Lele, and Thundis, or just the Thunder Bros, or the Thunder with his two forms. As you saw by the thumbnail, Lele and Thundurus, I think, are some of the craziest additions over here. Of course, we have other crazy ones, but those are just, when you think of like those mons, you do not think of them UU. Like, I'm pretty sure Thundurus was UU inside of Gen 7, but again, I just really think the meta is going to evolve. It's not the same gen. You can't correlate this to the same gen. These mons having access to heavy duty boots and Volt Switch, I just think they're going to be really strong. One of them has Prankster. I don't know if he takes advantage of that or anything, but it's a Volt Absorber. It's in the air. It has heavy duty boots. I think it's one of the best counters to a non-ancient power Regieleki, since you don't have to worry about that ring target. So that's something. And of course, just an electric Volt Absorber that's also an electric type is just a really cool idea. But of course, we also got Bulu and Lele, which, if Bulu got Grassy Glide, he would have been OU, and if Lele got Expanding Force, probably would have been Ubers. But unfortunately, they don't have them. I don't know why they're UU. These mons are too strong. I kind of just want to go inside of UU right now and spam Psychic inside of Electric Psychic Terrain and take him out. It's going to be crazy. One set that I really want to do is do like a Bulu set, since I like Rillaboom, but I think Grassy Terrain is just such a cool ability, making it so like mons that would normally get nuked by Earthquake can actually have like a switch in on Earthquake or something like that, maybe. I don't know. Then we got Togekiss. Probably might stay inside this. I don't know. Literally, there are like so many crazy monsters at OU right now, nuking everything. There's Kieran Black. It's just, it's a crazy place. Next mon. So about that pause, had to get some water. We got Toxtricity. Now, Toxtricity over here. Well, like I already said about the whole like Earthquake thing, you could run that with Bulu, I guess. He didn't get any additions inside of this DLC, since I don't think they added any new anything. I don't know, but you know, this mon, it's still cool. I think he's gonna stay inside of UU, since I think he was OU since that whole Shift Gear set was really strong, but I don't know. Yuxi, I already talked about that. Victini has one of the strongest attacks inside the entire game. Victory Star doesn't have to worry about missing. It's a strong mon. I don't really see a reason for it to be here. Volcanion, now that's a UU mon that I think could exist down there, but it just has such a cool typing with like, especially also having access to a 4x resistance to you know what you could run? You could run something like Air Balloon on this mon and like totally counter Heatran, because they're probably not going to want to go for the Flash Cannon on you to break your balloons. You can go for the Steam Eruption on them and do some damage. So if they're like a full offensive version, you could deal with their Earth Power, and you could also deal with their wait, no. I don't know. Maybe something like that. It's a cool counter to Heatran. Maybe. It's cool typing. Then we got Volcarona. Oh, no. No. Not Volcarona. When you think of OU, you don't think of Volcarona not being there. The Volcarona has to be there. Sacred Sky would not be proud, and I'm not proud to look at this. So that's going to have to get chucked back up. I'm just going to avoid that. And then Zeraora, which kind of had a feeling that Mon was going to have a falling off. Unfortunately, he was only good because he was like extremely fast, could go for Volt Switch, had Plasma Fist. He's still a strong Mon, don't get me wrong, and still could be viable, but, you know, he's just not super strong, and probably going to be UU. But, you know, he might get chucked back up to OU. Doesn't really matter. He got a falling off since there are just so many crazier Mons. Okay, OU to RU. Now, I actually recently signed up for an RU tournament that, looking at these Mons, I'm a little scared, since that RU tournament might be a little worrisome. But we got Articuno, you know, heavy duty boots, that makes that thing really strong, or at least not doo-doo like it's been. We got Archeops, which another heavy duty boots Mon, goes really well with his defeatist ability. We got Rapid Spin Kabutops, or Swisswim if you really want to run that. Nidoqueen, Regice. Unfortunately, we got the Rhyperior, which dropped back down to RU. A little unfortunate, that Mon was having like a real surge up instead of OU, which I appreciate. That Mon is absolutely legendary. And then we have Tornadus for no particular reason. And then we have Elective Xurkitree, for no particular reason, which unfortunately lost access to Tail Glow, but he still has like Scarf sets with T-Bolt, Energy Ball. If you call the switch, they're gonna die. That Mon's really strong. OU to NU. Now all these Mons I kind of expected to be NU. I'm a little confused on why Tyrantrum is chilling down inside of NU right now. Like all the other ones make sense. But like Tyrantrum, really? I think that Mon's a little bit stronger than NU, but maybe it wasn't because the Volt Fire Coronation was using Tyrantrum. But that thing's legendary. Hopefully it'll drop down to PU, but I highly doubt it. It's a little too strong for that. It probably won't even stay inside of NU. It's a little strong for that too. I don't know. But Aurorus is pretty cool. All these Mons, I like them. Anyways, moving on to the Volt Fire Court here. We have all the Mons that I expected to drop down to PU. Like, come on. Come on. Calyrex, it sucks, okay? It doesn't even have like the stats of like, it's trash Celebi with a worse move pool. It literally has 20 less inside of every single stat except HP, so it's like neutral inside of HP and worse in every single way. Has access to terrible moves. It's just not strong. It has a big old brain. It's pretty cool looking, but that's pretty much it. I'm excited to use it as like dual screen or maybe like a trick scarf set, but I really don't understand why they made this Mon so trash. It's supposed to be a king. When you think about it, you have like those strong horses, and then this king is supposed to ride, mounted on his noble steed. But no, we have this spaghetti-legged, ball-sacked horse thing. Deer? Horse? I don't know what it's supposed to be. Just walking around with his jelly legs, doing nothing. But I'm glad it's inside of PU, so I can at least use it, since that's my tier. Zydog. Let's take a little look at that over there. We got Z-Dog, or Zydog. I do not think that thing should be there. It's a little strong. I don't know. Just that typing is pretty good, and it's pretty fast, and has E-Speed, and Glare, and excess 2,000 arrows, so it can just go for that. A little too strong for this tier. I'm just saying. Guzzlord, kind of expected that. Thing still sucks, but more PU. Unfortunately, Trevenant's gone, so I'm not going to be able to go for the epic Trick Room PU, but I can make it work. Guzzlord, love that thing. Kragonal, having access to Rapid Spin and Heavy Duty Boots now. I knew this thing was going to be strong. It has really good special defense, or really good typing. Well, not really good typing, but you know, it's a fine typing, especially with Heavy Duty Boots now, and having access to Rapid Spin and the Levitate ability. So, you know, I'm going to be using it as a cool Rapid Spinner. I don't know if it's going to be able to be better than some of the premier Rapid Spinners, specifically Hitmonchan, sorry. But, you know, it's cool. Altaria, got like Cotton Guard. I wonder if it got Body Press. That would be kind of heat. Armaldo, another cool Rapid Spinner. Swisswim, I guess. Got Walrein. Nah. All these Mons are kind of meh. We got Mesprit, which I actually saw a lot inside of Gen 7 PU, but then it got banned to NU. At least I think it did. I've been watching a lot of Joey Pokeem's PU lives from like a year and a half ago or something, and they are awesome. I really enjoy watching those. PU is a lot different then than it is now. Absol, like all these mons, it was kind of just obvious they were going to drop down. And then we're going on to the UU, so that's all the OU to PU. All these mons were used so little that they dropped down all the way to PU, which is absolutely depressing. So now we're moving on to some of the other tiers, and I'm pretty sure there's some other PU drops. At least I think so. UU to RU, Uniclus, yeah, it's fine. UU to RU, some basic mons. RU to NUBL, we got the Porygon 2, mon's still annoying, but doesn't really affect it that much. I don't think it would drop down to NU, since, you know, it's a little too defensive, I think. NU already has some premier defensive mons, but I'll give it... Why? Who thought this was a good idea? Really? Really? What happened to Kingdra, man? What happened? I remember that when that thing was, like, chilling inside of OU like every other game. When the Isle of Armor DLC, I was playing OU, I was really enjoying myself. I was able to go for, like, the whole Volcarona heavy-duty boot shit. I was seeing that thing, like, every other game. But no. Now it's NU! Think about that. Think about that. Swift Swim Kingdra in NU. Disgusting. We got Savali Fairy, which is kind of weird. At least I assume that's Savali Fairy, since it's the only one that was inside of RU previously. Tangela, makes sense. That thing kind of just got chucked up to RU, because I'm pretty sure a tournament happened instead of RU or something. Or something like that. I saw it get chucked up last month. Claydol, it's kind of funny, because I was using that thing instead of, like, RU, so I guess it's not that good. All these mons are perfectly fine. Little funny to see Vaporeon chilling down here, since that was, like, I'm pretty sure 4 or 3 months ago, that was the best mon inside of RU. At least usage stat-wise. So, a little interesting to see it get dropped down. NU to PU doesn't affect it that much, but we got that, that Basculin and that Magnemite. No, Magneton. Yeah, I think. NU to PU. Now, these are some pretty crazy ones. Specifically, we got the Excelgor, which I'm looking forward to. Cincino. Cincino, yeah. Frostmoth. Now, I'm going to be making a video on this as soon as possible, since I love Frostmoth. It is a cool Quiver Dancer with one of the coolest abilities inside the entire game. And it's also really, really pretty. We got Kingler. Why'd they put Kingler down here? I don't think he's that bad, but again, the meta is just going to be wonked. I'm going to be playing some national decks a little bit, just to, like, get established. And I'm definitely going to be making a video on the 15th to see the tier changes, because I'm really looking forward to seeing how these mons are going to change, since I have a feeling a few of them are going to get banned, specifically all these demons that they decided to chuck inside of UU for, you know, reasons. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Smogon, for at least taking the time out of your day to put another whole, like, test of stuff during the 15th, so I don't have to deal with this massacre of poor UU for an entire month. Yeah, but Kingler having access to agility, it can go for that whole sheer force, crab hammer. No, liquidation. Yeah. But I like this mon. It's a little strong, but it could be PU. Could be PU potential. Rhydon, have no connection to it. Like, it's a Rhydon. It's cool. And then we actually have the Rotom Fan, which I think this is the only Rotom other than Rotom Frost that's actually usable inside of PU. I actually don't know. I think Rotom Frost has actually been chucked inside of NU like 5 times over the course of the past 5 months or something. So maybe this is the only Rotom you can use. And if it is, I'm perfectly fine with that. That's a pretty cool Rotom. One of my favorites. I think I like Rotom Wash and Mow the most, but you know, Rotom Fan, kind of cool. Then we got Sandaconda. Makes sense. That monster's a little bad. Kind of. If you had normal, like, Sandstream, I think it would be a little bit better, but he has, like, Shed Skin, which he can use on, like, a rest set. No, not a, yeah, rest set on a coil rest set or something like that. Or he can use it on a non-rest set and just deal with people shoving toxics at him. And then Togedemaru, which I'm perfectly fine with. I think it's a cool mon, and it might be PU potential. Who knows? PU to ZU. Now, the funniest thing about this is we actually have some top tier PU threats that for some reason got chucked down to ZU. Makes no sense to me. A few of them, like, you know, makes a little bit, but come on. Come on. So first mon is kind of funny. We have Bouffalant. That mon about 3 weeks ago got banned like 5 times. It was like between like an entire week or something. It was like kind of like back and forth. Not an entire week, but you know. I've seen that mon inside of NUBL, no, PUBL, NU, just over and over again. And I don't really understand what the fuss was. I never really had too much trouble dealing with it, and it turns out people actually figured out it's not that good, or the meta just shifted around it. So it's chilling inside of ZU right now. Oh my god, all these other mons are pretty normal. Like, I can see them all. I really hate the ugly sheep. Let's just ignore it. It's a horrible evolution to Wooloo and very annoying Cotton Garter. Other than that, I don't really know what Gourgeist that is. Nothing really affects me too much. These all kind of make sense. But then you see Marini and then Mawile, which I'm pretty sure those mons were like really good. So something must have happened. And then you also have some really weird shit. So we have the Grass Savali, which is fine. And then I think that's either Rock Savali or Dark Savali, but Dark Savali was really good instead of NU, so I'm just going to expect that that's Rock Savali. And then Shuckle. So, you know, I think they all kind of deserve to be there. But these 3 mons over here, these 3, oh my god. Yeah, so Marini, Rapidash, and Mawile are all some pretty crazy mons that got chucked inside of this this lower tier. Like, I'm pretty sure Rapidash was chilling inside of, like, on the PU tier list, pretty sure it was, like, top or something. Yeah, it was, like, up there with, like, Stunfisk. It's, like, this mon, Stunfisk, and some other mon. So, obviously, it's good. And fast. But now it's ZU, so that's a little unfortunate. But we covered this monster of a chart that is insane. Let's just quickly cover all the usage stats, and then we can wait until the 15th, since that's going to be the real interesting one. Since, you know, you can play with all these disgusting Pokemon inside the lower tiers. Like, I bet a bunch of people are really going to enjoy fucking people up with these disgusting mons. Tapu Lele looking at me funny? Yeah, Tapu Lele really looking at me funny. But it's going to change on the 15th, so do not worry. Your elo can just kind of, you know, wait inside the back if you're really worried about getting fucked up by these mons. Or just, you know, play lower tier, since they don't look that disgusting. Even, yeah, these mons are not that bad. I don't think these mons are going to destroy the meta. Kingler might fuck some people up, though. But anyways, let's take a look at the usage stats now. Oh, also, here's a little snippet of information, so you know this is like the same day. Well, this is going to be posted pretty late. You're all probably going to be asleep by the time this is up, but it doesn't matter. So basically, inside of National Dex, no, OU doubles, yeah, Shadow Tag and Marshadow, so the 2 Shadow Bros, or the Shadow ability and the Shadow Pokemon, were banned from that, so that's kind of cool. But of course, starting over inside Little Cup, we have the exact same mons we've seen for the past, like, since the beginning. Fuck Volibee, everything it stands for, I hate it. Basically, all these mons until, like, you know, out of all these mons on the Little Cup tier list, Dupiter is the only one that's actually cool. I just really don't like the tier. Got burnt on it. Got burnt trying to make a cool team, and it wasn't a cool team. But they're actually banning Sticky Web, which I don't think is a problem. I think Volibee needs to be tested. Please ban Volibee. I don't want to see that ugly mon. But there's going to be some, probably some new mons that get dropped down to Little Cup. I don't really know how the whole Little Cup tiering goes, so I don't know if, like, the Nido babies are in there. Nidorina. Yeah. I don't know if they're down there, but if they are, I think they have Sheer Force. That could be cool. Alright, so inside of PU, we have Runeregus, Jolteon, Kangaskhan. A totally different mix-up. Sandslash is chilling all the way down inside of 10th. That is depressing. That mon was, like, top, chilling up there with, like, the kings. And I don't even see Stunfisk on Fort. Savali Poison, of course, putting in that work. And the whole Pinchurkin Jolteon strategy, I was going to make a video on it. I don't know if I did. No, I don't think I did. But it was pretty heat. I've played a couple games with it, and it's disgustingly strong. Jolteon, it can just, you know, Oh, also, so I'm not going to be making a video on it, but I would highly advise to do this if you're doing a Jolteon set. So what I did is I put a Snover on. No, a baby Vulpix, or just Vulpix Alola, and I gave it an Icy Rock, and I did like a whole Aurora Veil lead set or something. So if I lived, I lived. If not, I just, had access to the Hail. And you have like a double strategy. So if you have a Pokemon that, you really don't want to hit with electric type attacks, you can set up the Ice or the Hail, and then go for Weather Ball, since Jolteon gets Weather Ball, so it technically has a 100 base power Ice Beam, which is pretty nice to take out those ground types and grass types, all that kind of stuff. But if you don't want to care about that, you can also have access to the whole Rising Voltage set. So it's a pretty cool set. You can put on like Volt Switch and it can be like Rising Voltage, Weather Ball, Volt Switch, and Shadow Ball or something like that. Whatever you want to do. But it's a really strong Mon, and this tier is kind of crazy. Even though Cramorant got banned Cramorant got chucked out. So I don't really know how the whole tiering works, since when you think about it, Cramorant's chilling here with a 15% usage rate, but Rodriguez didn't get banned, I don't think. So, I'm not really sure how the tiering works, or at least the banning goes, but if that's just because the tier leaders wanted to chuck it out, or it just wasn't, or it was just used a lot this particular month, I don't know. It doesn't say it's used that much during this month, so who knows. NU, we have some crazy Mons. I'm pretty sure the Arctozolt just got chucked in there. Like, all these Mons just got, as you can see right here, the whole Vanillix Arctozolt thing, that was probably just something for the past, how much was it, like an entire week and a half? Yeah, those two months together probably dominated. Dominated. Oh my god, no wonder that thing got banned. Anyways, all these Mons are pretty NU staples, but it's gonna get shaken up. RU. Okay. So RU's kind of just been a weird place. It's constantly just changing, which I kind of like about it. It has Arcanine, Passimian, all the Mons that you've seen from the beginning, and now it has things like Tornadus Eye, why? And Xurkitree. Yeah, this tier, just rest in peace. UU, we actually have Cobalion at 1. I don't know if it was like that last month, but Noivern has been like the king of UU for a long time, but we all saw what happened to UU, that poor tier. So at the end of the 15th, we'll probably see things like, oh, Volcarona's up there with an 80% usage rate. That's pretty cool. Whoa, that's insane. Noivern, Rotom Wash, Mimikyu, some pretty normal UU stuff. I like that Zarude's being used. I appreciate it. And then we have Ubers, which is the most disgusting place of all time. So, I just want you guys to know, this is the first time since the game came out, I'm pretty sure, that Zacian Crown was taken off of his pedestal. That Mon was at like a 60% usage rate since the beginning. But of course, the first two Mons inside of the top are Calyrex Shadow Form, which of course is absolutely broken, and Yveltal, which is kind of the only counter for Calyrex Shadow, since it's really hard to switch in to Calyrex Shadow. So Yveltal kind of just takes that and can go for Dark Pulse or something. It's the best it can do. Calyrex Shadow is absolutely broken, basically just because it can Dynamax. And what's funny enough is the Smogon tier leaders for Ubers, or just Smogon in general, is suspect testing Dynamax as a whole inside of Ubers. Now, the whole point on why some people played Ubers is because they wanted to, use that epic gimmick. Well, I actually don't know that, but I enjoyed using it inside of that. It's a pretty cool gimmick, but, who knows? Maybe the entire Ubers meta can be taken away, because if that, so I'm stealing this from a Twitter comment that someone basically stated that it's going to be funny to see if Dynamax gets banned, because that'll mean that Gigantamax and Meowth will be on the same status as Mega Rayquaza, so you only can use Gigantamax, Meowth, and all like the Gigantamax forms, including the bad ones like Eevee, Pikachu, and Meowth. Anything goes, so, a little Meowth is going to be the same tier as a Mega Rayquaza. That's pretty fire, not gonna lie. Yeah, but Zacian Crown, as you can see, he got minced, almost dropping down to 4th. That is depressing. He'll be back. If Dynamax gets banned, I think Calyrex Shadow will fall down inside of usage just because it can Dynamax for no particular reason, since they actually decided to make every single Mon pretty much able to Dynamax. You know, Ho-Oh can Dynamax, Kyogre, which we'll talk about that monster later, can Dynamax, and of course, Calyrex. Then Necrozma Duskmane, we all know this thing, it's a steel psychic type, it has prism armor, it's just a good Mon in general. I don't think it can go for that whole Ultra Burst thing since it needs the Z-Stone. I really kind of want the Z-Stone back since that's a pretty cool Mon, and I never really had the chance to use the Ultra Necrozma, or Ultra Burst Necrozma. But you know, it's fine, it's fine. And then we got number 5, Kyogre. Okay, so I'm just going to give you guys a little history lesson. Inside of Generation 7, Kyogre was absolutely overshadowed. If you wanted to use Kyogre, you had to use the other Kyogre, or Primal Kyogre, because it could set up the rain. That is for one reason and one reason alone. That is because Groudon Primal is like, I'm pretty sure like 60% usage. It was kind of like Zacian Crowned before Calyrex came in and T-posed on everything. It was everywhere. That Mon had one weakness and one weakness, well, 2 weaknesses. But, you know, one was a 4x weakness, which got fully nullified inside of its ability. So, you know, Pokemon like Kyogre, which normally, having the Drizzle ability and having Water Spout, can fire off these brokenly powerful attacks, just gets fizzled out because you can just switch inside the Mon that normally would be 4x weak to it, but just gets fizzled out. So unfortunately, Kyogre, a normal Kyogre, was not used like at all. It sucked ass. Primal Kyogre could be used a little bit, but you know, you still could just go into Groudon on the Primal Kyogre, reset the Desolate Land, and the only thing you could go for is Ice Beam, because of course you're not going to go for the Origin Pulse, there's no reason to. They have no reason to go into anything else, so it's either put like Earthquake on your Kyogre, which I'm pretty sure most people were running like Liquidation on their Kyogres and all that kind of stuff, because they just needed to do some damage to Groudon, since he was so crazy. But now, Scarf Kyogre, oh, with Water Spout is disgusting. I've gotten like 5 sweeps by just using this one Mon. I think people are going to have to start using Mons like Seismitoad, since I think that's a really good counter for this Mon. Since it can deal with the Thunder, I'm pretty sure Ice Beam it could take pretty well, but again, this is a Kyogre, so you better have some kind of tech on a Mon that can eat an electric type attack and also a water type attack, and that's pretty hard to cover for besides some grass water types. No, water ground types. Then we got Ho-Oh, which access to heavy duty boots. We all know Ho-Oh. Xerneas, it's back. You go for Geomancy, you pretty much win the game, unless they have Ditto, but everyone's going to be using a Ditto, so if you run into a Ditto, kind of just invalidates most of your game plan. Zygarde Core Enforcer, or Zygarde Complete. Ooh, nasty Mon. Nasty Mon. I'm really glad they didn't even try to use this thing inside of OU, since, you know, they're having all these crazy Mons like Pheromosa, Kieran Black, putting Lando Incarnate chilling down there inside of OU. I'm surprised they didn't test Zygarde C, or Zygarde Complete. It makes sense since there's like no reason to test it. Of course it's just going to be so brokenly broken. It has like base 255 HP with like these crazy moves. Disgusting. Disgusting. And then actually at number 10 we have Eternatus, which I'm pretty sure was like second for a long time, or at least like top 5. But now it's actually kind of fallen down a little bit. Like it got a rise, so what does that even mean? It rose instead of popularity. Does that mean it wasn't top 10? I don't know. I really don't know. I remember Eternatus being a little bit higher last time, so maybe the tiering just got higher since, you know, whatever. But let's move on to OU and let's finish up this video since OU is kind of nasty too. Alright, we are here with the final section. Looking at this stuff. Alright, parentheses on the Mons means they're banned, so do not be taking a look at Neganadel or Genesect. So, of course, Genesect is at number 1. Of course, that Mon was insane. Like, E-speed off of that kind of attack, it had download, all these crazy abilities. It's literally the Mon that everyone tests inside of every single tier, or I mean every single gen, that gets banned. Like it's happened since Gen 5. It's the Mon that people try, but it doesn't work. It has one weakness, has all these crazy attacks, it's too strong. And number 2 we have Landorus Incarnate, which of course is another Mon that's really fucking strong. It has one of the best typings of the entire game, and sheer force earth power. Why the fuck does that exist? Heatran, which I've already covered, has the whole Scarf set with Eruption. I definitely think this thing is going to be a top tier threat, and people are going to have to get some way to deal with this thing. Be that like, I don't know, something. I don't even know. Flash Fire with some kind of tech. Then we got Spexure, which, of course, this is basically like Magearna, but a ghost type, and I'm pretty sure it's faster. Well, it's definitely faster, and I think it has better special attack. So, horrible coverage, but even something that can only go for Shadow Ball and Dark Pulse, and its other moves consist of things like Will-O-Wisp, Hex, and Substitute, which are pretty normal, but then you have sets that literally have to run things like Uproar and Mudshot. Yes, Mudshot is a viable move on this Mon, according to Smogon, which, you know, is not the fault of Smogon, that's the fault of this Mon that has no good moves. But, you know, it can just fire off Dark Pulse, and, well, Dark Pulse a little bit, but mostly it's just Shadow Ball. Stab Shadow Ball off of Scarf and Specs are the best that you can use on this Mon. Normal Zygarde, I hate it. Lost my tournament game because of it. But you know, it's Zygarde. That's him. It's Big Daddy Zygarde. People did vote ban on Zygarde inside of the whole testing of all the Mons when they banned Naganadel and Genesect, but it was like a not by a giant majority, so they didn't want to do like a quick ban. But I would have preferred if they did a quick ban. I really didn't want to fight any more Zygardes. Landorus, Therian, which is kind of funny. This Mon is still chilling there, even though we have all these threats. But, you know, it's Lando. Come on. What do you think it is? It's Lando. So, of course, Lando is always going to be a threat. Now, Pheromosa, I think the biggest thing is this Mon can run physical and also have access to Ice Stab now. Or no, just an Ice Attack. Having access to Triple Axle has made this thing crazy. I'm always switching this Mon in, like, oh, is it going to be special? Or is it going to be physical? And if it's special, then, you know, you just die. Or if it's physical, you die too. Yeah, I think this Mon could get banned, but it's frail as hell, so something. You gotta do something for it. Kieran Black, Magearna, or Shifu. Some really strong attackers right there. I've been spammed with Light Screen Kieran Black so many times with that whole weakness policy shit. And that's not just because of my tournament game. That's because of me just playing. That Mon is annoying as hell. But you have to deal with it, so I think the best counter would be some kind of bulky fairy or something. Maybe Clefable. Come on, Clefable. You gotta do something. You gotta deal with his ice, man. His ice is too powerful. Magearna, again, another weird light screen Mon. Everyone's using it with Regieleki, which is at number 11. We'll talk about that menace. And then Urshifu Single Strike. Alright, let's talk about Regieleki, since that's kind of like one of the weirdest Mons they could have added. So how Pokemon decided to nerf these Mons, like Spexure and Regieleki, is by giving them bad move pools. So instead of like, oh, we're going to give them terrible defensive stats like they did with Pheromosa, that thing's borderline broken with its stats, but its defensiveness is like of a wet paper towel, which is why it looks like a little cockroach. Actually, I don't know why it's a fucking cockroach. It looks like a cockroach. Cockroaches live forever, man. You can hit that thing with like an anvil, and it's still gonna crawl around like perfectly fine. Pheromosa, nah. If you like sneeze on that thing, it's gonna die. Spexure, it has no coverage moves, so that's how they nerf that Mon. And then we have Regieleki, which is exactly the same. It has no way to hit ground types. Spexure has no way to hit dark types or normal types, pretty much. Well, specifically dark types. So like Galarian Moltres is really good. Regieleki has no way to hit ground types, and Regidraco has no way to get his hands on any form of fairy type. So, you know, like I already stated, you know, Pokemon pulling those schmoovin' moves. They're trying to make these Mons a little bit less broken by doing some cool shit with them. So, I appreciate that. Thank you for not just giving these Mons outrageous stats and immediately putting them inside of Ubers due to their disgusting stats and their horrible move pool. Well, not horrible. Horribly insane. If Regieleki had access to Ice Beam, insta-Ubers. Fastest Mon inside the entire game, base 200. That Mon would be so annoying. But luckily, its only good thing to hit like a ground type is Hyper Beam or Ancient Power. We're not going to use those. Toxapec's still there. Kind of surprised, honestly. Galarian Zapdos, I love this Mon. It is already top tier, and I'm really looking forward to using them. Covering all of the rest would kind of just be like it would just make the videos longer, so I'm just going to cover the really important ones, specifically the new additions. So we have the Tapu Koko, which, he's back. Unfortunately, he doesn't have access to rising voltage, so he's not broken, and I don't think he has access to play rough or CC, so he can't run that cool stuff, but he still can run that annoying light screen set and spam light screen and make Zygarde even more broken. Blaziken, I really don't think he's broken, especially instead of with all these mons. Like, there are so many other crazy annoying mons that should be taken care of before Blaziken, which is why every single person inside of the Smogon Council decided to not vote ban on this mon, which is good. Melmetal, Trick Room Melmetal is one of the most disgusting things you can possibly use. With a banded set, it doesn't matter if you resist it. Even something like a Rotom Heat, which I'm pretty sure 4 times resist it, you're still going to be taking like a good 35, which is not cool at all. Normal Zapdos, which, they're kind of paired up with each other. Heavy Duty Boots. Naganadel, that's kind of gone. Now, Tornadus is a funny story. This is a Regenerator mon that's mono flying, that has access to Heavy Duty Boots now, and a Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot is probably the second biggest besides Heavy Duty Boots, and honestly, I think that mon's going to be Ubers. Like, it was Ubers inside of National Dex, and that's with all the other mons possible to use, and now it has access to Nasty Plot, which it couldn't use inside of National Dex, so I don't know. They're totally different metagames, and I'm not going to make a decision, but I just think this mon's going to be a little too overpowering, but he's not the main priority. We got other mons that are a lot more annoying. So BL Knight's going to be coming up. We really need OUBL. We really need that. I know Ubers is its own thing, kind of paired off. That's why when you look at the usage stats, or the tier changes, it's not OU to UU, or Ubers to OU. You can't drop from Ubers to OU. You're kind of just shoved up there and then you get suspect tested. We all know that, since Ubers are usually, big boys. You can't just chuck them down like that. But I think this mon's going to be Ubers. Tapu Fini, I'm so depressed that they did not give that thing Flip Turn. Speaking of Flip Turn, we actually have Swampert chilling inside of 25. Thank you, Big Man Swampert. You are the best starter, hands down. I'm sorry to anyone who likes anything else. My opinion is objectively right. That is a joke. You can like whoever the fuck you want. But yeah, Swampert having access to Flip Turn is really cool. He can just Flip Turn around, which I'm really glad for. U-Turn was something that I always kind of wanted to use on this mon. And now we also can use Swift Swim on him. So if you want to do a National Dex set, it kind of pairs up the exact same way. So when they gave Lopunny Close Combat and U-Turn, sure, normal Lopunny instead of PU or ZU at the moment is not going to be taking advantage of it. But that also correlates over to normal Lopunny, who's chilling inside of Ubers or anything goes National Dex. So that mon's pretty crazy there too, since it has, Close Combat. Don't have to worry about no ghost types. Wait a minute. You don't have to worry about missing. I kind of forgot about the whole Scrappy thing. But U-Turn's also a good thing. Garchomp, all these mons. Really glad that Blissey is the mon that people are using instead of Chansey, since I think Blissey's just cooler in design. Kartana, no Grassy Glide, depressing. Now, Dragonite is very cool. Having access to Multiscale is just, it's a must. If you have Multiscale or any kind of ability that makes it so you're stronger at full HP or something, you're going to want to put Heavy Duty Boots on. Unless you're running an Eruption set or a Water Spout set or a Dragon Energy, I don't think people are going to be running Heavy Duty Boots on the Heatran or something, but knowing Smogon players, they will probably put Heavy Duty Boots on every single thing that's inside the tier. That is a joke, kind of? Never mind. We got Slowbro walking around with them big old lady boots on. Okay, T-Tart, glad to see him. And that pretty much wraps it up. Everything else was kind of expected, like Moltres. Volt Firecore about 2 hours ago made a pretty epic post on Twitter, trying to make the claim that he thought Moltres was PU, Gen 7, but, he did not know the thing was actually UU. He kind of just expected, Articuno, that thing got chucked inside PU since it had, NU, since I'm pretty sure it got suspect tested. I don't know. That thing, it was around the really low tier, so of course a Pokemon that's also 4 times weak to Stealth Rocks should be inside of that tier, but then you see Ho-Oh, so it didn't really care. Speaking of Ho-Oh, I didn't really cover it inside of the the Ubers, but that mod's also going to be pretty crazy too, since its whole thing was chuck the stealth rocks down and hopefully deal with its regenerator antics, but nope. Now it got heavy duty boots. Disgusting. And then of course Lati, or Latios, yeah. But that is going to wrap it up for this video, guys. My voice is absolutely dead right now since I didn't bring a cup of water. But, oh man, we got another one at the 15th. We will see what happens. I don't know if they're going to do it like this one. They might just do like a tier change section, like, you know, OU to Ubers, or not OU to Ubers, OU to UU and all that kind of stuff. Because would they really do a whole, like, number of percentage usage stats? They probably could, since they did most of these for, yeah, Pheromosa was only around for like a week. These are the usage stats for a week, so they probably could do usage stats for it for those 15 days. So keep on the lookout for that, guys. And with that being said, I'm going to say keep on the lookout again, and keep on the lookout for my videos. That was really convoluted. Thank you for watching.